All right, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jamar Smith, and welcome to Jamar's Phenomenology. And today we're going to talk about changes, right? I want to talk about how important was it for me to change, and why I had to change. You know, um, and I feel that it was important for me to change because I have this picture of this guy, this perfect, not even perfect, no one's perfect, right? But I had a picture of this guy that I wanted to become, and those bad habits that I had, there was no way that I was going to become this person that I thought about with those bad habits. So I had to change, right? So I had to stop drinking, right? I had to change the homies I used to hang out with. And that was hard, man. That was one of the hardest things because these are dudes that I grew up with. I'm talking about road dogs, you know? We've been through thick and thin, in and out on a daily basis, and it wasn't so much of what they were doing, it was more so of who I wanted to become. In order to become that person, I had to make that change. I had to switch that. I had to make that sacrifice. And that's what I did. I made that sacrifice, and it was hard. It wasn't easy, you know, but it got to a point where I had to be selfish, so to speak, right? With myself, and don't really too much worry about their feelings, but it had nothing to do with them, but it had everything to do with me because I have this vision. I have this person I need to become and where I need to get to. And they say if you want to look, if you want to know what your future looks like, look at who's around you. Look at who you associate yourselves with, right? And I'm not taking anything away from them, but you know, the time around that time when we were doing what we were doing, there was for sure not going to be any progress for me, for sure, you know. So I had to make that change. So, and that's what I did, man. I started cutting, old friends off little by little, and it allowed me to to not only become a better person, but to stay focused, um, because we weren't on the same page. We didn't have the same visions, right? We didn't have the same goals. I think the only thing that we had in common was the cocaine and the alcohol. To be honest, right now looking back at it, right, it was a good time. We were chilling, we were hanging out, but there was no growth. We didn't talk about anything. We were talking about a bunch of gibberish and stuff like that. And I would reflect and look at myself and look at my life, and that's what my life was. It was a bunch of gibberish, right? It was a bunch of it wasn't going the way I would like it to go, right? The way I wanted it to go. So I had to sacrifice. I made that change, man. And but it was so important for me to make that change because the moment I made that change, I started to see this better person, this person that I wanted to be, develop, right? Slowly, gradually developing, blossoming, right? The seed was planted, it been planted, but there was no nutrients being fed to it, right? It wasn't being watered and stuff like that because of the atmosphere. So I had to change that atmosphere. And once I did that, I was able to really start to focus on the person that I wanted to be. And that right there, that was one of the biggest things for me, man, was changing my surroundings. There's a saying, right? Some of you guys may have heard that before: iron sharpens iron. I'm a firm believer on that, man. I'm a firm believer on that. Iron sharpens iron. And now the homies that I kick it with, right? They're all entrepreneurs. Everyone's doing their own thing. We travel. You know what I'm saying? And we're just living this life, living the life that we want to live, right? Living this comfortable, fun life that everyone wants to live. You know. And before, man, before the change, I wasn't living that. I thought I was, you know. Uh, it was cool. I was intoxicated and under the influence of cocaine and stuff like that, you know. But when all that wore off, it was like, who am I? Where am I? What do I really want, right? And and that's why I feel that it's so critical for change, man. Because if you don't change, the years will pass you by, time will pass you by. Next thing you know, you'll look back at. I think I wasted about. I mean, there were good times, but I want to say I wasted about 6 years, 7, maybe even more years of my life because I wouldn't accept change, you know. So it's critical. I can't sweat that enough on how critical it is. And then once you do, a fear develops, right? It's like, how do I change? And uh, when I do, because the moment I started changing, I was scared. I'm like, dude, I'm becoming this guy. I don't even know who this dude is, right? I didn't know who that guy was, and I had to break free of this person that I thought I was, right? Which is my identity. I had to pretty much leave that identity that I thought I was to this whole nother identity, this whole nother person that I didn't have no idea about. But I'm glad that I did it. I'm so glad that I did it, and I'm appreciative. And I think and I feel time, everything happens for a reason, right? Because if I didn't change the time that I changed, I wouldn't have a story to tell you guys, right? I wouldn't be able to talk about my mess, to be able to send a message, you know? Um, so yeah, it's just, it's baby steps. There's a saying that I like to say, how do you eat a whole elephant? One bite at a time. And that's how it is. And I feel once I started accepting that, right? Once I started biting it one bite at a time, um, I got used to it. I got used to it. I got comfortable, and there was no worries. And bam, look who I am now. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I got so many more years to go to become that person that I'm trying to become. And I just want to encourage you guys, um, accept the change, man. Be selfish in a positive way. Be selfish for yourself, right? Regardless of who it is, because what I've learned is nobody's gonna fill into me, right? No one is gonna add value to me. No one's gonna really help me make that change. It starts with me. It starts with us. It starts with you to go ahead and do that. So I encourage, start there, and you'll be surprised of what it does in your life. You'll be surprised of where it takes you. You'll be surprised on the person you become. So yeah, I just want to end it there. It's getting a little cold out here. No excuses, but I think I hit it right there in the nutshell, man. So you guys, again, my name is Jamar Smith. Thank you for joining Jamar's Phenomenology. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys later. Yeah.